Peace and blessings, family. What's up with all the daydreamers out there? Please live it. Don't sleep through this thing. So, all last pay period, I made a decision to not spend any money at work, meaning that no money at the cafeteria, no money at the McDonald's, no money at the vending machines, whether it be the chip drink machine, doesn't matter. No money on anybody that's coming around with a little snack cart. None of that. No money out of my pocket was going to be spent at work for a whole pay period. This meant that I would bring my lunch to work every day. And if I wanted a little snack somewhere in between the work hour, I would also bring that too from home. I would supply my own lunch from the house, from my own refrigerator. And I did this for a whole pay period. If anybody's doing the math, that's 10 days straight. Now, this is what I actually learned through all of this. Spending money at your job for lunch is like any other concept of spending money outside of the job. It's all learned habit. It's all a behavior that you've trained yourself to do. So subconsciously, it's the easy thing to do. Subconsciously, it's automatic. And let me explain to you why you spend money at your job for lunch. Because it's the easiest thing to do. It takes a little bit more work to actually wake up in the morning and fix your lunch. It takes a little bit more work to actually plan out any meals for the whole week. It takes a little bit more work that when you do wake up and you realize that you did not have any leftovers from the meal from last night. Now you got to figure out how to sew a meal together in order that you don't have to spend any money at the job. It takes a little bit more work. One of the things that I've learned when it comes to our habits and our behavior, when it comes to money, we opt for the easy things to do. And typically the easy things make for the worst habits over time. It's the harder things to do that make up for the best habits over time. Give you an example, such as savings. It's easier to spend money than it is to actually save money. Why is it easier to spend money? It's because it's hard to deal with the self-gratification that comes along with having money in our hand. Why is it hard to save money? It's because we give in to the self-gratification that we have when we have money in our hands. Typically, when you're saving, it's for something for a future time. When you're spending, it's for something right then and there. Can you see the difference? It's no different than me taking my lunch to work. I'm taking my lunch to work to hold on to money for future time. So let me give you a monetary measurement on where I ended up when I did this for the 2 weeks. So in other words, I wanted to see what I would have in my bank account by the time the next payday came around. When the next payday came around, I had close to about $80 left in my account that I did not actually touch over a 2-week period of time, simply because I opted out of spending money at my job on lunch. Now, it ended up dropping down to about 50 because my wife called me. She had some things she wanted to buy in conjunction with Christmas and everything like that. And the beautiful thing about it was I was able to say, go ahead, babe. Make your purchase. Now, mind you, to some people, $80 is nothing. $50 is nothing. But to a lot of you guys out there, $80 is a lot of money. To a lot of you guys out there, $50 at the end of a pay period, going into the next pay period, that is a lot of money for some of you guys. That is a Christmas miracle, matter of fact, for some of you guys to have $80 or $50 and the next payday is right there around the corner. That's a miracle to go a whole 2 weeks and have that inside your bank account. It's not a miracle. It's called changing your habit. So let me go ahead and say it like this. You are the miracle for your finances to get better, for the control of your finances. So either you're going to give into the gratification of spending money on your job for food upon food upon food, or you're going to hold up, let me think, let me go ahead, take my lunch to work and save that money. Now, mind you, let's say, for instance, it's not the spending money at lunch that's denting in your pockets. Whatever it is that you are spending money on that is hammering away at your finances, that is chomping away at it, and you really don't need it, you can do without it. You can actually put something else in its place that's going to save you some money later on down the line over the course of a period. Do it. Replace it right now. But the only way that you can do that, and this is my last thing and I'm about to cut off. The only way you can do that, because the only thing that you can do in the sense of understanding where it all is to do you a monthly budget. I am able to do a monthly budget. Well, I ain't able to. I do a monthly budget prior to the month coming in. So I already know what I have on pocket money to spend on whatever I want to spend it on. So if I do decide to spend money at my job on food, it's already accounted for. It's not cutting into any savings. It's not cutting into any giving. It's not cutting into the electric bill. It's not cutting into the mortgage. It's not cutting into any of the things that I have going on in our lives, simply because I decided to sit down and do a budget. But I wanted to do this just to see where my money would end up going into the next pay period. And I found something else that was really interesting, really interesting. My spending habits is very frugal. In other words, I'm not a big shoe shopper. I'm not a big clothing shopper. When it comes to technology, if it's something that I want, I save for it over time, because typically my tech purchases are big ticket purchases and stuff like that. So I save for it over time in order to buy it and stuff like that. So I find myself being a homebody also. So I'm not out and about everywhere just spending money and all that other stuff. It is more so of a habit. This is why I say it's a habit. It's a habit that on payday, you don't pay your bills first. You go out and eat first. It's a habit that on payday, you go and see what you can buy from the mall first instead of ensuring that you're putting something in your savings account. It's a habit that you give in to the pleas of the children saying, can we go out to eat? Can we go out to eat? And you ain't even got a budget to let you know whether you got out to eat money. It is a poor habit that you've developed over time. But let me tell you something. Make it a habit to sit down and give every single one of your dollars that you bring into your house a purpose, a reason for existing in your home. Save, give, then pay the bills. Then after that, you will know exactly what you got left over. Let me say that again. You need to put at the top of your list savings and charity. After that, you build your rest of your lifestyle upon that. Then you got your bills. Then you got your obligations, in other words. Then after that, you know exactly what you got left to do with whatever's going to be done on the spectrum of us going out, us being able to go out to the movies, us being able to go out and chill somewhere, or just on this, if you just want to just hold on to that money and do something different. The reality of the game is you've made it So let me go ahead and conclude this and say it like this. Where you end up with your money is based solely on your habits. Majority of our behaviors and our habits dictate where our money ends up later on down the road. So either we're going to, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying? This is long enough. Much love and respect, guys. Let's do right by our dollars, man. This going into 2021, let's do right by our dollars. Stop blowing our money on unnecessary stuff, guys. I just did this thing, whole pay period thing, as a test to see where I would end up at, man. I loved where I ended up at. I already knew where I was going to end up at. But either way it go, I loved it, and I just wanted to let you guys know about it. And I'm doing it this week, too. Matter of fact, my lunch is already packed, and I'm ready to eat, man. When I get to the job, no money spent. Anything. That's what it's about. Much love and respect, guys. Peace.